We are 17D Amino from the Bravo Papa Lima, and we'll call you quarter through 100 now, 95 now, Mike Whiskey November.
Mike Whiskey November, roger, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1011, and just confirm which type of NDB approach you require.
3,000 feet, we have 10011, and if it's okay, could we self-position about a 7 mile final, visual runway 10? Roger, next call on the final approach for 10, thank you, Mike Whiskey November.
Golf X-ray Mike, line up and wait, runway 10, aircraft vacating.
Line up and wait, Golf X-ray Mike.
Golf X-ray Mike, surface wind 150 degrees 9 knots, runway 10, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Golf X-ray Mike.
Hi everyone, in this video I'm just going to divert from the crash videos that I normally do, as all that concentration on crashes, it's made me a little bit nervous of flying. So I'm just going to do a little video on the history of the United States Air Insignia. During the First World War there used to be a bit of camaraderie between pilots of opposing sides. And they'd wave and salute each other as they were passing each other to go and scout the ground forces to see what they were doing. But someone took it upon themselves to take a shot at one of the opposing pilots. And with that shot, that was the beginning of aerial warfare. And with our aerial warfare, there became a need for aerial national insignias. America entered the war on April 6, 1917, and it already had a national air emblem. Now this was an insignia. It was a blue roundel with a white star with a red dot inside it. Now the French pilots realised that from a distance this roundel with the white star looked a little bit like the German White Cross. So something had to be done. So on the 8th of February 1918, a new roundel was introduced, which was a round one with a red and a white circle in the centre of it. And this became known as the AEF roundel, the American Expeditionary Forces roundel. Now this was used throughout the First World War, and with the Armistice Day on the 11th of November 1918, this roundel was no longer needed. On the 19th of August 1919, the star roundel was reintroduced. Now they tried to get all the old AEF emblems off by the 1st of January 1920, and at this date as well, the roundels were moved from just inside of the wings, near the fuselage, to the outside of the wings. In the 1930s, war was looming in Europe, and America responded by painting neutrality markings on their aircraft. The American flag was painted as large as possible on the fuselage of aircraft operating in anti-submarine patrols and in known war zones. Also, some civilian aircraft were painted with the American flag. With war looming in Europe, the Army, Navy and Air Corps services began to paint their aircraft in different camouflages. Now, up to press, the roundels were painted on both the upper and lower of each wing, but as of February 1941, the roundels were restricted to the upper of the left wing and the lower of the right wing. This was to prevent anybody aiming at the plane so that they couldn't aim between two roundels. With America now in the war, American squadrons started training in Britain, and this led to a situation where in some cases both the American and the British roundel were placed on the same aircraft, which is against international law. On the 15th of May 1942, the red dot in the centre of the roundel was removed. This was done to prevent nervous anti-aircraft gunners shooting down American aircraft thinking that they were Japanese, because the Japanese insignia also had a red dot in the centre of it, which the American servicemen used to call the meatball. Now by this time, the British had unofficially introduced a bright yellow outline to their roundel, so the Americans started painting bright yellow on theirs as well, for the sake of commonality, so that there was no big difference between the two. On the 28th of June 1943, a new insignia came into being, and this added two white bars to either side of the roundel, two white bars or wings they look like. And this was because tests at Elgin Field in Florida had shown that this particular setup was about 60% more recognisable than not having the wings at the bars on. Aircraft would retain this insignia until the end of the war. The United States National Air Emblem became the emblem of the most powerful air force in the world.
Golf X-ray Mike, final 10.
Golf X-ray Mike, it's been 160 degrees, 12 knots, runway 10, clear to land.
Clear to land, Golf X-ray Mike.